Hello everyone. We're ready to start, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Hello everyone, my name's Leon and I'm here to do a presentation on synchronicity, I would say. That would be what brought me here today.
Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so I wear a few different hats, father, son. I have a wellness center, I'm into divination, I have a divination app, and a life coach as well. But I would say that the base tone is metaphysics and synchronicity, and simply connecting dots. So my brain doesn't really have memory. It doesn't store memory. I don't really remember things. And so the idea of me is to make myself into a digital imprint, which is what this is. So this is my brain on digital. So this is, every single one of those dots is a note that I've made over the past 4 years, building these tools. And essentially it's just like a mind map. So this is just the illustration of a mind map to allow me to organize my thoughts in a coherent way. So this is not what I've built, by the way. I didn't build this program, just to be clear. But this gives me like access to information that allows me to make sure that everything is always synced, because you don't want to get to a level where you are chaotic, or you can get to a level when you're chaotic, which I always get to, but then at some point you have to bring it into coherence. And so even the reason why I'm here today, I'm going to start with a bit of a synchronicity story, because I first saw Mederick on Dan Winter's
Fractal U class.
Yeah, the first time he ever came on.
Yep.
And the first time he ever came on, the craziest synchronicity is he came on talking about Elfie, and I'll just show it to you here, just in case you don't think I was making it up. So he came on talking about Elfie, and which one is it? It would be, yeah. So he spoke about Elfie. The week before that, I had built my own Elfie. That week before. So the only thing I didn't do is build the 200 correspondences that went to it, but I built all the calculators. So as you can see here, I've got the Planck times 5, I've got the Planck scale, vacuum, I've got the time, I've got the length, and I've got the mass, and I've got the temperature, and I've got a length, because there's different types of Plancks, depending, some people prefer one, depends what you're using it for, and then I've got the frequency as well. Then I've got the rotational frequency. So I built that all, and then Mederick comes on a week later. And then at the end of that, he's like BioCoherence. So I have to know your heart. I have to know like your philosophy. The end product is cool, but there's like 100 bioresonance devices. There's 100 biofeedback devices. There's loads out there. But I have to know like the intent behind the coder, because I came up with this idea, like I'm into words. So I came up with this idea the other day, like code sorcerer. So like we're code sorcerers, like me and Mederick, because like we're sourcing. So yeah, so in programming that you have the source code, which is like the blueprint of the architecture of your program. And in that word source, obviously you've got the original source, the divine source, and then you've also got sorcery as well.
And resource.
Resource, exactly. Ah, beautiful. There you go. So it's like, because I can't tell you where I get this information. I've built programs that when I wake up the next morning, I don't even know how I built it. Like, because I have no coding experience. I have zero. I couldn't tell you what one thing means. So when Dan's there, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do nothing. I'm just stubborn as hell. And I will sit there for 60 hours to get one thing working if I really need to. But I don't have any special, nothing special. It's just willpower. I have willpower and this determination that is just like unyielding, that I won't stop until it comes out. Which, you know, can have effects on my health. Like, I've not slept much over the past week. I've had not much sleep. I don't want to say it. It's embarrassing how much sleep I've had over the past week building for you guys, because it's important that at some point my vision actually gets spoken about to people. Yeah, like I do have stuff like you'll see, but I've been building for like 4 years, and there's not one person that knows more than 1% of what I've built, because just we'd be there all week. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, okay, cool. And then ChatGPT 5 comes out. So for example, I'll give you an example. So it took me a long time to build some of these tables. So I'm not going to go through this whole table, but basically this was my first table I ever built 4 years ago, roughly. And if you highlight it, you can see this number. There's 11,000 cells in this. So this is basically my correspondence table, which corresponds all the languages, all the numerology systems, all of the languages, well, not all of the language, but, you know, runes, Hebrew. So, all right, let's go to the start quickly. So you got the letter A, yeah? So let's highlight the letter A. So this is the letter A, and then so in the letter A, I want to know how the letter A synchronizes with everything else. Like, what are the layers of this letter A? Because everything is a frequency, everything is like connections. Okay, cool. So what stars does it connect with? Obviously it connects to the sun. What sign does it connect with? Obviously it connects. You see what I mean? So what alphabet in the letter A? What is the alphabet in the English language? What is it in runes? What is it in Hebrew? What is it in Greek? What is it in Egyptian? So I just built this manually. It took me like 3-4 months to build.
Did you do
Just
a Nokian?
Huh?
Did you do a
No,
Nokian?
didn't do a Nokian. I didn't do a Nokian. So yeah, at some point you have to stop. But like I've got reasons of why I chose what I chose. They're my personal reasons, because this is me on, you know, digitalized, as I'm trying to say. So then you got like astrologies, but like with the astrology, I've mapped it all, so you can say that. Cool. So let me just show you it here. So in my astrology, I've got, just for the letter A, or which would be Aries, I've got 42 correspondences. Do you see what I mean? That's just on astrology. Then we've got Olmec astrology, which is what I call, which is my own astrology. I pay homage to the Olmecs, who were the originators of the Mayans. So the Mayans didn't really create nothing. They just, you know, they inherited that knowledge basically from the Olmecs, and who knows where they inherited it from, but we definitely know they inherited from the Olmecs. And so I've broken down all of that. You can see like the wave, the 13 tones. So when I said, oh shit, I didn't even realize that my door number was the number 13. And you're gonna see today how I've channeled the number 13 all throughout this weekend, like just channeled it, like just. So that's what I'm trying to say. So like each number becomes like a dimension. Each number is a dimension. Each number is a frequency of like scale, of scaling. So you can basically, the way it works is that you can decode any system by understanding its first 4 letters. So the first 4 letters of any alphabet, if you understand that, it scales. It basically tells a story that becomes repetitive. It's like the most simplest way would be like the hero's journey. So that was the first product I ever created. The first product I ever created was just a life coaching 9-step program called The Hero's Journey. And it's basically to say, so the name of my first business is called I Create My Story. That's my limited company. I Create My Story, because what we're basically saying is that you are the center. Where if the universe is infinite, wherever you stand is the center. So some people become like too humble, like, they become side players in their own story because they've been taught to be meek and humble and, you see what I mean? No, you're the center of wherever your attention goes, you are the real AI. Attention and intention. So I've been saying that, and then what Medrick in his thing, attention and intention. And I've had that. Do you see what I mean? So, like, I'm not, this is nothing. Like, this was 4 years ago. I'm going to show you, like, I'm giving you like a little 4 years. Like, I don't really do anything else but this. So you'll see. So yeah. So but that's how it started. But then, just because I'm not going to show this one again, but basically this is a correspondence table that's got all of my correspondences in it, and there's probably, I can't remember, I lost count, but there's like 50 or so tabs of just pure correspondences, colours, herbs, the bagua, the days,
Wow.
orbs, like some stuff like I've just invented, like just like yeah, it is what it is. I hope you're ready. That's all I can say. Like, just if there's any questions, hopefully I'll leave some time for some questions at the end, because I can answer stuff and I can slow down. But there's a lot to get through, to be honest. And again, I won't be showing you more than 0.5%. Whatever I show you today, it won't be more than 0.5%. But we'll do something. So then, like, then I'm reading Prology. I'm like, all right, cool, BioCoherence, Then I read Prology. On the first page, I drop the book. I'm like, what the fuck? Because she said the same thing that I said. So like, this, so basically, sorry, apologies. One of the things that I do is I help you create your own universe. I can do that for anyone, like show you how to create your own universe, what I call a U-verse. So you are a U-verse within a bigger universe.
You
Yeah. So but I just call it the U-verse or the UV-verse, because the UV is also, again, there's nothing I do that doesn't have at least 10 meanings. So like the UV-verse also. Ultraviolet, sorry, apologies. Which is the ultraviolet. So basically I had this vision. This was like the vision of how it first came in, basically, which is like the universe is an information field. So like integrated information theory, systems theory, all of this kind of stuff, all this good stuff. So in my opinion, just purely an opinion, could be wrong, I don't mind if I am, hopefully I am, the universe just exists to know itself. The universe exists to know itself, in my opinion. There's no other reason. It just exists to know itself. And so it basically had to create echo chambers called people, called organisms, called biology, in order so it can reflect itself. But it's just itself going through itself to get back to itself. This is all it is, because all is self and self is all. So, but in that though, you can say that humanity is kind of like, you can say that because, my days. It's not like fallen angels, but like the idea of metacognition, that the fact that we can think about thinking is a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. Because on one, you can basically fall into delusion by overthinking. But then you can also reflect and see and question and pause and reflect on the I am. Whereas if you weren't in this fallen state, you would only be the I am. And that's beautiful, but like, I enjoy having the ability to have both. It's just transmutation then, isn't it? So then now it's like transmutation. So what I realized basically is that obviously the I am is the center point of the infinity, basically, of like time, essentially. But then we go through states of like, so basically in my mind, the universe, oh sorry, I didn't say, the universe was created off of the word of who am I? Because in its I am state, there was no, it was just whatever it was. It was just the I am. And then at some point, there was a who am I? And for me, that created the universe. Because the universe is mental, the universe is conscious, all is mental, all is mind, and mind is all. So, alright, cool. So then the universe is just like a curiosity. It's like, imagine like you had all of these abilities and you didn't test them. Do you see what I mean? So you have to create like subharmonics of yourself in order for you to reflect and see and experience and grow and observe art. Because I can now observe that without being affected or not being so. Do you see what I mean? But then like, the universe is like, anyone that's lived life knows that the universe plays tricks, the most craziest tricks, because you go to, okay, cool, who am I? And then you, this is who I am, this is who I am, I am. And then,
Boom.
am I really? Am I? Like, it's gonna test you. Are you really that thing that you say you are? Are you really that thing that you say you are? So, and then like people will, I've got to the level where time is a toy. Basically, this is just the level that I'm at. It's like putty in my hands. So I've done it too many times to like, I will just like say something like, one day I'll wake up like, sorry, I'm not initiated in nothing. I have no I have nothing, like just nothing. But I'll wake up one day, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a shaman today. I'm gonna be a shaman. And in the minute I say that, the universe will just, I could just feel it. And the next person I meet just says something, just woof, 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 woof. And the next minute I've got the gifts of a shaman. And I didn't do nothing, I didn't get initiated, I didn't go nowhere, I just had this idea that I want to be a shaman, and why the fuck not? Who says I can't be a shaman?
Let's play shaman today and see where it goes.
Yeah, literally. This was because it's when you said, oh, introduce who you are, like I've got about 100 titles. I've got no titles and I've got about 100 titles because it's just the fluidity. It makes no difference. It's alchemy. It's just alchemy. It's just like, okay, once you know the base fundamentals of life, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. It's simple, but then like my problem is I don't really always respect it because it's just too easy for me. It's just, life is just so easy for me. It's like putty in my hands, which is like, you know, you get to like manipulation and stuff like that basically. You get to like manipulation and like, yeah, it's like dangerous energy basically, isn't it? It's like, so, yeah, chaos theory. Because basically what this graph is showing, I haven't even shown you nothing yet, I don't even know. But yeah, so what this is showing is, because what I'm basically saying is that you want to excite, explore and exploit, but this word here is so dangerous because this is the key. Basically, life is going to throw at you lemons, it's going to throw at you hurdles, and it's your ability to pivot, to go under, to go through, to transmute, to phase it, whatever. That's what you're learning basically, to allow you, so then your will, because your will is gonna, you know, an immovable object. Okay, now what are you gonna do? That's your I am, that's the who am I point, the am I point. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And at that point, some people cower, they go back, they double check, they give up. Yeah, do you see what I mean? And so like, because like 1% doubt will kill your magic. And that's the thing that people don't get, like 1% doubt will kill your magic, like instantaneously. So it's like, yeah, a mustard seed of faith can move a mountain, if anyone knows that bar. Sorry, yeah, so, yeah, boom, where was I? What am I doing? Oh yeah, sorry, Christine. sorry, Christine, yeah. So, I've only had like 1 hour sleep, by the way, people, so yeah. All right, cool, so, I had this before I read the book, but this was a key for me. So the key that I had to like, because Gurdjieff's the fourth way, so obviously Christine's like, vote, then you got the Dantians, like I'm going a bit fast, but you know, you guys have been there for days and they've been explaining a lot of this stuff already. I'm just like cohering it, you know, synchronicities. I'm just putting it together, basically, joining the dots. So, because it's crazy, so I'm reading the prologue book, and her main theme or thesis was about what? Love, wisdom and power. But she says willpower. In the book she says willpower, and in mine I've just got power. Same thing, obviously. And I'm like, what? So I've got Medrick's thing, which is the whole Elfie thing and the whole some other synchronicities, and then I've got the actual philosophy, which is again, everything's the philosophy, the love of wisdom behind, the intent behind, the drive behind the actual product is love, wisdom and power, which is your who am I, the I am and the am I, basically different phases. So essentially what you want to get to the level like where none of these phases are any better than the other. I am is not better than who am I, and is not better than I am. Like, just what I mean. So I don't put anything on a pedestal. Most people be like, I am is the best. Do you see what I mean? But then for me, that's like almost disrespecting existence, because there's an exploration when you don't know. So most people like are uncomfortable with the unknown. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, how do I become comfortable with chaos? Is the question that we have to ask, because you can't really get to high levels of mastery, because you want to be able to master that. When you're in that state of I am, you want to approach it as a master. Yeah, I don't know, so what? Okay, cool. Great, let's go on an adventure. let's seek. See what I mean? So it's like the curious mind is just like the one that has no fear. So it's like innocence. You see what I mean? The child, like the tarot card, like the page, or tap into the Joker. But again, not many people can deal with the Joker energy, because that could send you crazy.
Yoga.
So it's like, yeah, it's a dangerous game I teach, to be honest, because in the they say in the Vajra, they say that the hardest path is the Vajra path, which is the fire path, because that's the most dangerous path. All the other paths, they're a bit more straight, they're a bit more organized. Do you see what I mean? Whereas I'm like, yeah. That's too boring for me, basically, in a nutshell. Like, me going down the straight path is just a bit too boring. It's like, I already know what it's like. Do you see what I mean? So there's no stimulation, because there's no excitation with me if I was just to know. So I need to actually go into spaces of the unknown, because basically I'm pushing boundaries. Star Trek, I'm going to those places that are unknown. So yeah, and that allows me to then just create my own space, because what I've basically built is something that allows you to tap into your true self, into your true frequency, which is what all of this stuff has been about. Everyone's conversations. Like, I could speak about everyone's conversations for about an hour, and just like how that resonates with me. And like, I don't know if people saw my notes yesterday. Well, obviously I didn't show them to anyone, but like, yeah. And then I went upstairs, and so I couldn't sleep. But yeah, anyway, and yeah, so I would just take a picture of this, and then I'm actually going to get into stuff. So I don't know if you can see this, because I'm obviously at night out, so I put everything in dark mode. So obviously for a presentation, it's not as light. But basically, yeah. So this is my optimal prime. So this is my basically tree of life. This is my own version of a tree of life, based on the Buddhist model of cause and effect. Basically, I can't remember what the name is, but it's the something. But anyway, basically, so I went to Thailand. My brother's a monk, which is weird as well, whatever. But anyway, my brother's a monk, and so I go to Thailand for the first time. And I come back, and then I just get this idea. So I was reading a book, and then I got this idea, and then basically, yeah, I just saw a tree of life, but my version of a tree of life, which was more around, I'm not going to explain it too much, but I will do it for about 30 seconds to a minute. I've got an hour, so, but yeah, I'm going to continue to speak fast. So, the illusion of separation is the disease of humanity, or is the disease of all. And so I wanted to build a system that really spoke to that, because I wasn't really happy when I went to Thailand. I was like, I kind of agree with it, but then kind of not. I was like, nah, it's not good enough. And then like within a second, I just got this vision, whatever. And yeah, because the ultimate goal is peace. Obviously, the ultimate goal is peace. Sorry, let me enlarge this a little bit so you lot can actually make sense of what I'm talking about. So it starts from the bottom up, by the way. It just starts from the bottom up, with obviously creation as the first principle. And then we go into the stimulation theory, which is obviously my model. And then oneness. So, one of my main philosophies is oneness. Sorry, that's my main philosophy in life, is oneness. So I can see division in your speech, because I was a salesperson. So my history was a salesperson for like marketing companies, digital marketing companies. That was like my career. And like you just get used to working out truth, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy from you, and then they won't call you, do you know what I mean? Like I said. So, so anyway, like, suffering is separation. For me, suffering equals separation. So in the Buddhist teaching, suffering equals desire. But I wasn't happy with that. Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't like that because the desire, I'm like, well, what kind of desire? I get it. So I did get it. I mean, I sat down with the head. I was there, like I'm questioning them. I'm like, and I read books and so I get their perspective, but I do feel like some of them were misinterpreting, and there wasn't like a love for life there. Because it was like, well, I just want to go back. I just want to go back. I just want to die and not come back. I just want to die and not come back. I just want to die and not come back. And I kind of used to be like that as well. And then I realized that, well, that at some point you're killing yourself. Like you're not embracing the I am, the nowness, which is I'm breathing right now. So let me love that as much as possible. Do you see what I mean? Like, what is the desire to run back? And obviously that is a stereotypical. If you actually speak to the proper monks that actually understand the nuance, then they'll tell you later, no, you can't grasp. It's tension. I haven't even explained, sorry, apologies, musical spheres. Everything I'm going to show you today is about musical spheres. So you have to create tension points. There is no music without tension. And so I don't like the idea of going away to a mountain to hide, to run. To me, it's just like, now obviously they do put themselves under, this is what I'm trying to say, it's a bit, I don't want to be stereotypical because I do understand the deepness of it. Like they will actually go look at dead bodies and so on and so forth and make sure they put themselves in states of uncomfortableness. Like my brother went to the top of a mountain where people go mad, where monks go mad basically. He went there and he was laughing. Because my brother's on another level as well, just laughing at it. That was easy. So anyway, whatever. So, yeah, so anyway, yeah, so yeah, basically, in a nutshell, we've got the optimal primes. I'm not going to go through this, but this is just like some of my foundational philosophies, just the way how Christine and Mederick have foundational philosophies. This idea of creating your own universe. Mashallah, thank you very much. That is so beautiful. So, the idea of creating your own universe is like paramount because basically the universe is either life is always going to life. So you're either going to allow life to life on you, and then you become like a what they call it, like an NPC or like a bit part player in your own life, or you basically become resonant with the moment. That resonance is like a recapitulation where it's so instantaneous you wouldn't be that you like cancel out time because your resonance with the now moment is so instantaneous that it just there's no time difference. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it's like instantaneous action. This is like the highest level that we try to get to. I'm not saying I'm on that level, but like on a good day I can get there pretty easily, but I'm not always there. So so basically in a nutshell, yeah, there's like 20 modes. Look, TJ, 20. We tapped into the 13 and now we've got the 20. And this is what I'm trying to say, like all of this stuff, I'm only seeing these numbers after. I'm just building my system and then I look at the numbers. I'm not trying to fit something in something. I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Let me create. Now it's time to stop. All right, now let me have a look. Boom. So we landed on the number 20. Sorry, the number 20. So in the Mayan system, 13 times 20 equals 260, and their calendar system works on a 260. So they've got many calendar systems, which I'll show you as well. Like you have to have, well, you don't have to, you do whatever you want in life. But I enjoy having multiple calendar systems because they allow me to tap into different dimensions, and each calendar system, each culture, each space. Like I've come here and I'm not even trying to channel. I don't even know what channel. I don't channel. I'm not a clairvoyant. I have no skills of anything. But there's just something around like going to different places and that acclimatizing you and that feeding your information field, and then just if you're open and receptive to it, just naturally you become a vessel, isn't it? It's just this idea of becoming a vessel, basically. So, all right, cool. So yeah, that's enough philosophy. Let's go show you some tech. All right. So now I'm going to build some. Now here are actually a couple of slides that I've just built. Sorry, I've not built these. Like other people have built these slides and stuff. So yeah, there's a lady that I follow for the past couple of years called Zay Farah. Let me make this bigger. I can make this bigger. Her name is Zay Farah, or her name is I can't remember her real name. Something Rahman. So I don't know if anyone knows what EVOs are. Does anyone know what EVOs are? EVOs. They're like vacuum objects. This is how you make so cold nuclear fusion. Cold fusion. Does anyone know what cold fusion is? Or, so LENR. Sorry, so basically I'm into something called LENR. So basically low energy nuclear reactions. So the reason why that's important is because that is the key to creating nuclear reactions that don't cost the sun, that don't cost the earth. So it's like, and it's all based on coherence and geometries and cascading, which also then feeds into Dan Winter's stuff, or the stuff that we're doing here, BioCoherence. And essentially that technology is all based on cavitation, which is basically bubbles, which is basically spheres, which is basically toruses. So it's all the same thing. So anyway, my whole point is that Sheila Rahman, thank you very much, we're always going to get there. So Sheila Rahman is someone that basically is a sound engineer, someone that's after Meredith's own heart. She's a sound engineer, she's a musician, and she basically has an oscillator, and she's basically just spent the past couple of years turning, using the wave mechanics, basically a circular wave, the oscillator function that turns it into a circular wave, which is what you're seeing here, and then she'll play the frequencies, and then she'll see if there's any shapes, if there's any patterns within those frequencies that have anything. So basically my whole point is you can create the vesica Pisces from frequencies. So this here is the code. This here right now is the code. So I'm trying to say these numbers are obviously frequencies, but this is the perfect illustration. What I love about Sheila is that this is the perfect illustration of geometry into number, or number into geometry, whichever way. Obviously it's geometry into number. Numbers are just interpretation of, could be any of these, these numbers are arbitrary, but it's the ratios which are the most important. The ratios are not arbitrary. The numbers are, the ratios are not. So this is how you create the vesica Pisces. You create it from these numbers, from this scale. And so she's basically spent the past 2 years mapping different things. And obviously, we've got the seed of life as well. And so if anyone wanted proof about the difference between the 430 and 432, we can just show it through frequency. We don't have to speak. We don't have to just be like, yo, let's put it through an oscillator and just play the 440 and see what that looks like.
She's calculated. Did you do these?
No, she's done this.
Okay.
These are all hers, that's what I'm saying.
She's calculated, she's put numbers on the nodal points.
Yeah. So 440, it's chaos. Look, I mean, I didn't even notice how just beautifully harmonic that is. That looks like the thing that TJ was showing. That looks like the music of the spheres on the 432. Where you can see that there. Look, you can see all the toruses. All of these will be nodal points. All of these will be torsion fields. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Easily, and it's creating a wave. That's the 432. So 24 notes. So basically, she's done a 24-note harmonic based on the 432. And this is what it generates. And then when you do the 24 harmonic, with the same harmonic, but just tuned to 440, that's what it looks like. And what for me blows my mind the most is we're only talking about the difference between 8 hertz. 432 and 440, it's 8 hertz. It's not a lot of difference. But that's why life is so difficult. Because life is in the fine tuning. The refinement of life is why we have, inshallah, long lives, because it's yeah, we get the big picture, but really to master it is just these nuances, just this micro. This is why you always have to go back through this I am I really, am I am. It's just this, it's not going to stop. Do you see what I mean? So like most people, they're like, oh, when I get on holiday, I will finally be at peace. Oh, when I move house, I will finally be at peace. Oh, when I will get married, I will finally be at peace. Oh, when it's like every single time, it's a deference, it's a delay, it's a do you see what I mean? Like, so those people have never lived.
It's the credit system that we now exist in right now.
It's linear. Yeah, because it's just the linearity of the timeline. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, as TJ was saying yesterday, and as Jose Arguelles will say, is like, yeah, the biggest trick is the calendar system. So if you start looking at things linearly, you've lost from day one. You can't.
8 hertz is the Schumann resonance, just about.
Well,
That's the difference in those numbers.
Beautiful.
Not linked to the earth.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, sorry, where did I come out of that for? Yeah, no, I got a few more. So, and then, so basically, so this is the most people have seen this.
yeah.
So I would say most, why would I say most people have seen this for? That was crazy for me to say that, so apologies.
Well, maybe most people in this room.
But yeah, so this basically is just a beautiful harmonic grid. So what we're basically saying is that it takes two to tango. So nothing is in isolation. Even though we have this like oneness concept, this is why it's so difficult, because we've got this idea of oneness, but then we've got harmonics and different numbers. But really what you need to understand is this self-similarity, recursion. This is like, once you understand that, okay, it becomes, okay, now I get it. Fractality, apologies, sorry, the simple word is fractality. And so you need two numbers. And then those two numbers then create the tension point that then creates the ratios.
The contrast.
The contrast that then creates the ratios. So basically this is just a grid. So you can see that the ones is along this line, and so then she divides 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, you know, all the way up to 16, because she's basically this guy called Malcolm Bendall, who basically is the generator guy, plasma generator, thunderstorm generator guy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so basically Sheila Rahman, she comes from that, she's in that family. Do you see what I mean? So she's like got the sound engineering thing, because the plasma generator, so yeah, we're gonna, when we go to the stars based on plasma technology, or when we astral travel based on plasma technology, it's going to be based on the way in which you make the system efficient is the coherence. And this is where, yesterday my mind got blown, because I didn't know about the power thing. The power, I've got it in my notes somewhere. The power.
60 versus 50 hertz?
No.
Oh,
It's how you do the electrical engineering when you're building a system and
yeah, Dan Winters, not the waveform, but it's
the power
yes.
force, something like that. Anyway, whatever. It'll probably pop up. It will pop up in my notes at some point. But my whole point is, yeah, that was an absolute key, because it gave me like an X-Y axis in my mind.
It gave you a right angle.
Yeah, like again, it gave me a tension point, basically. So anyways, yeah, in a nutshell, my whole point is that most people have seen the 4-3-2 grid. So again, I already had this myself, but she is just amazing. And so I don't need to show my version of the chart. You know, her one's got color in it, my one didn't have color, so we'll show hers. So anyway, and then the number 16 as well. In biogeometry, Ibrahim Karim, number 16 is the first sacred number. So that's why.
PG3.
Yeah, because like, because he didn't give it away for free, and then like, I'm like a bit of a hunter, I'm like a searcher, and then like, no, I won't say it online. I basically went into the back end and found some jewels. Because I was looking for his magic numbers. I just heard him what he was just saying. Yeah, I've got these magic numbers, and these are the sacred numbers that are geometrically, and I couldn't find it anywhere online. And again, I'm just like stubborn. I was like, I need these numbers. And then I just got lucky. I got so lucky. The universe, alhamdulillah, just like lucky. And then because I knew how to then Yeah, I reverse engineered something to get into this. Yo, it's funny stuff, man. Funny stuff. Anyway, so anyway, I have his numbers. I have all the numbers. I have all of his sacred numbers, and 16 is the first one. So, and yeah, the harmonic and the plasma, the thunderstorm generator is based on number 16s. So their harmonics cascade is a 16 cascade, basically, 16 integers of a cascade, based on the harmonic grid, the 432 grid that most people have seen. And so yeah, this is her 2 years worth of research. Zay Ferry, this is the lady's name. That's her YouTube name. And one of my favorite channels is Alchemical Science. It's one of my favorite channels. Like, yo, goodies. that website, that guy's got some goodies. So yeah, anyway, Alchemical Science. So yeah, so basically, what she's done is this is her version of the periodic table, but through geometry and ratios. And so just mind blowing that she's able to create the seed of life, the flower of life, you know, the seven circles, the 6 circles, the 5 circles, because it's all circles, spirals, even though it's a triangle, but then that triangle is that Terence Howard. But then you've got the in one and then you've got the out one. Yeah. So you've got the in ones. But it's a triangle essentially. But it's a triangle the triangles are made from the circle. So that makes, of course you all see now. Yeah, that's the basic stuff. Yeah. So so I'll just hyper think, because I don't know how well you can see it. But basically, so again, it's that same system that we saw before, but now she's got the geometry to match it. And I mean, I noticed something yesterday actually for the first time. Like I wasn't even, because I'm not paid attention like fully to it. I just was like, wow, that's so beautiful. I need to add that into my life. But 4 petals is the 3 ratio. It would scale 3, so then you would scale it by 3, 6, whatever. 4 petals. 5 petals is the 4. 6 petals is the 5th. 8 petals is the 7th. So what happened in my mind is, well, it was like, then that's kind of like time then. So then the 8th the one at the bottom is time. So like we are living the 3rd dimension, but time is the 4th dimension. And as we were saying, like, when we speak about like dimensions and base codes, because this has been conversations, is like, for some reason we just decided on the 10. You know, like the lesion. And like one of the most mind-blowing things was this guy was talking about something completely random, but he was like, in the book of Enoch, he was like, in the book of Enoch, and just showed like, he was like, no, I said this, because again, this is my decoding of what he was saying, because he wasn't talking about numerology, but he was like, they came in, it was like the men of the daughters of men, they came in and they took our wives and they you know, whatever, you know, the fallen angels, all of this stuff, so everyone knows that story. But then in one of the passages it says, don't follow them and their magic, because they are the people of the 6. We are the people of the 10. Or they were the people of the 10 and we're the people of the 6. Because the legions, and because you just what I mean, because like the legions is like 10, because they do it in subharmonics of 10. So 10,000 is a number, like that's your legion. Your religion is basically 10,000 people. In order for you to have an official religion, you have to have 10,000 people, because 10 is the legion, which is linked to religion. That's what I'm saying. They got so many subharmonics. Each subharmonic is a meaning of something, and that's why the English language is just like double speak, because it's magic. Well, English language. Obviously, everyone knows English language is magic. So anyway, but yes, like the people of the 6, because the Sumerians, they had the base 12 system, which then broke down into 6. And like you could argue it was a base 6 system, sometimes, or argue it was a base 12. But then you had the other people that had the base 10 system, and you can imagine how magical like that is. It's like, if you use the wrong, that's going to change your whole culture by you changing the number system, the base number system, because that's going to tap you into a different frequency in a different dimension. Do Do you see what I mean? So this is why this calendar thing is just so important, these numbers. So what I'm actually trying to do in this part of the conversation is really make you guys try to take divination a little bit more seriously, because there's signs. It's like basically it's a feedback loop. So it's not that divination, it's not whether divination is true or not. It's whether you're able to cohere with the field and create a synchronistic moment with the field that gives you a aha. Or what system's better, Vedic astrology or Western astrology? Well, does it work for you? Did it work? Was you able, from Western astrology, to map out what was going to happen next? Because I know people in Vedic astrology, I know Vedic astrology, they mapped it out and they were able to tell me what was going to happen in that next second. And then someone in Western did it. But they're two different systems, they shouldn't really work. But for some reason, there's this theory in quantum physics. It's like the measurement problem with random, and what they were basically saying is that they ran this experiment where 4 different testers ran the experiment and all of their numbers matched up, but all of their numbers were different. So they basically ran a test where their numbers algorithmically made sense. It was mathematically perfect on this observation. So they observed something, they did the calculation on that observation, came up with the maths. This next mathematician did this calculation, but all 4 of them were different, but all 4 of them were correct.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And that's at that quantum realm. And so this idea of like separation, like I'm right now, you're right, now I'm right, now you're right.
Well, it's perspective.
It's just perspective. It's just perspective. And does it work for you? So like when I'm teaching you how to create your own universe, I couldn't really care less whether it's true or not. Is it coherent? Mm-hmm. Does it make sense, and is it working for you? Because if it ain't working for you, change your system. That's all I was saying. I don't really care. Like if your system, I don't care what your system is. Like I can work with anything. Like I'm fluid. I can work with anything.
Yeah.
But I just need to understand: is it coherent? Does it cause peace when it works?
Does it reduce the amount of disharmony of irrational numbers? In other words, can you separate out can you get a ratio that only produces the least amount of distortion? Like if you go from 10 to 12, pi becomes 4. But if you're in 10 decimal 10 power, then it's 3.14.8.
Yeah, of course.
But that's an irrational number because it goes on to affinity.
Or is it shareable?
Yeah, is it shareable? Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's a better way to say it.
Shareable ways. Absolutely. So like, yeah, reducing noise in your system. So essentially, like with systems thinking, it would be reducing the amount of noise in your system. That's essentially what you're trying to do, basically.
Yes.
And so in math, in it's like error correction. It's essentially error correction. Recursive. So you want to basically, so this idea of self-similar is that if you're building a system, so it's basically what I teach is like infinite games versus finite games. You have to build a system that works into finite for an infinite game. A finite game will always fail, because that will be linear. It will always have a stop. It will always have a time. It will always expire. There will always be an expiration date to that. So it's how do you build a system that is coherently embedded in an infinite game. And so basically my thing is called the Infinite Series. It's an online course for free, 8 hours. At some point I used to charge a lot of money, and then now I just gave it away for free because, yeah, why not? So you can just 8-hour lecture, teach you how to create your own universe. And someone actually did it and was just like, yo, your shit works. It's like, yeah, you try it, isn't it? It's like some random YouTuber, because I don't have many followers, I've got like 100 or something like that. So it's like, oh, your thing works.
Where's that at?
Oh, my YouTube channel.
Which is
That's 8 hour and
Yeah, it's like a playlist. I've just created a playlist on my YouTube channel.
at Leon.
Leon Noble.
Okay.
Like / Leon Noble.
Gotcha.
And then there's some dots with the Noble. Basically. Oh, right, go on. GNO.B.EL.
oh, that's it. I already got that.
No B and L. Which is also
No boost.
got some codes.
No bull.
Noble. Noble, yeah. Again, that name's got about
No boost.
7 or 8 different meanings. All right, cool. So, divination. Let's get there. No, let's show you evolution. Let's show you evolution. I got a speed through. Let's show you some evolution. So I've built a divination app. I built basically the world's first omni divination app. And again, I built my system. It took me 2 years to build the system. It's a bit complex, and it is what it is. It just is what it is. The day I came out is the day that this guy called Seven Boma, who is like, an online guy, he built his divination system. Basically, it was an omni divination system. His one had about 4 different systems, but this is someone that I had only followed since I had learned about, or since I had the idea to create the system. And again, it's just those resonance fields. Literally the same day I launched my things, the same day he launched his thing. His thing got like 100,000 views, my thing got 1 view. But like, scale, it was just scaling. We were both tapped into the resonant field. It was just, he was working at a different scale. No, it's true. There'll be one day, like, me and him will be meeting soon. Like, it's gonna happen because the universe it has to happen, basically. So anyway, so I'm not going to go through all this, but I'm just going to say that, yeah, so this took about 18 months to build because I had to reverse engineer 18 different divination systems, and some of them are very, like, encoded, like the Jose Arguelles one. Human design, they don't want to tell you nothing. Everything's behind a paywall. Yeah. They ain't trying to tell you nothing on how they built nothing. And I had to just sit there. I didn't even know how I did it. Like I said, I can't tell you how I reverse engineered human design, but I reversed the shit out of it. I fucking reversed the shit out of it. And then I cohered it with I Ching and the gene keys. So all 3 of them are in one thing, which is here. Yeah, I mean, I can just show you one little fun thing. And then like this is like, so everyone's into art. So yeah, this is my next door neighbor. Then my next door neighbor moves in, and then her daughter is an artist. And then she just, for 2 years, works for me. I owe her like tens and tens of like infinite amounts of money. Because for 2 years, she just sat and created these images bespokely. Like, bespoke. You can't, this is before AI, like just bespoke images, just beautiful. So anyway, so basically everything in this app, everything is in table form. It's a pretty simple, just in table form. And look, you've got the sun, so human design. So you have like, it's based on planets. It's basically based on astrology. It's based on the number 88. Human design is based on the number 88. Sorry, anyone that doesn't know that my full name is equals to number 88. So I'm like linked to like time. I'll just leave it there. I'm linked to time in a massive way. So
speaking of time.
No way! Yo.
Your time master, bend it.
Dan, will we move your talk after lunch? Okay.
No way, I've got 8 minutes.
Expensive.
50 minutes.
I'm gonna take a breath. I've got 8 minutes and 8. I just spoke about the 8. So anyway, yes, we tapped into the 8. So we just go across basically. The whole point is that everything is built on correspondences. So I've got these 13 divination systems, basically. So yes, there's 13 different divination systems I've built. And then you can argue there's 18, but really it's 13 main ones that I've basically built. And then, so basically the data table, that data table that you first saw is what fed this system. And I wasn't really, at one point I was really pressured. I was like, I took 4 years to build it, so I don't want to give it away. But in my reading, you just get the whole source code with all of the correspondences here. So if you scroll down here, then so that table, my oracle system, so when you add all of the 13 different divination systems, it equals 576, which is a harmonic of the 24. 24 times 24 is 576, which is also one of the numbers on the grid. Again, just pure coincidence. Just pure coincidence. So anyway, my whole point is that you have correspondences. So with the letters, so I can break down your name, like I can only do certain things online with digital, like give me your name and I could break it down in like 11 different dimensions, so anyway, but you can't digitalize all of it. It's like, I'm too intuitive with how I create the words and stuff like that and cohere stuff. But anyway, just give you one example. The letter A is matched to 40, I think it's matched to like 60 different correspondences. And I'll give you all of those links. And so say like you were say like your heritage was Nordic, then you might go to like Norse or something. Let me see what my name is in Norse. Let me see what the decoding, because we are multi-dimensional beings, and so like maybe we've been here many lifetimes, and maybe we're different people in different lifetimes, and I want to tap into different energies and different dimensions, and so I'm going to use the different codes to tap into different layers of self
To bring back the information.
to then encode reality.
Yes.
Encode reality, because too many of us are decoders. And so this is about the shift from a decoder to an encoder. This is one of my later day of philosophy. Like when that happened, I was like, yeah, oh shit, that is it, because I'm just frustrated with people telling you this is you, this is you, this is you. No, I am. And who do I want to be today? Do you know what I mean? So, or you just tap into the field and just, okay, let me tap into the field and become resonant with the field and create that harmonic, that tension point, and just become that resonant harmonic. And so just really, really quickly, I haven't even, sorry.
Don't worry.
I'm not worried, I'm just laughing because I said I'm only going to do 0.5. I don't put myself under pressure because I know I can only get through 0.5% at max. So it makes no difference. Just what part of the 0.5% am I going to show? You know, that's just where the fun comes in. So, all right, cool. So basically, I'm into divination. Tell me, did I not load up?
Do like my name, Anton, and just show us like.
Give me 1 second. I could do that. Yes, I can. But I feel like I didn't actually even load up the file. I thought I loaded up the file. Okay, so my main file I didn't download. Didn't upload. All right, it's fine. I'll just get it now. So give me 1 sec, people. Yeah, we'll just load up anyone. We'll just load up. Oh no, that one's too old. Astrology. Yeah.
Maybe you should actually just give us a look at what you've done in terms of linking with BioCoherence.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. All right. Cool.
people away, man.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So. All right. Do you know what? I'm gonna do what you said. We'll skip all that. I was gonna show you a divination system. Yeah, I've basically built a divination protocol, which I've not embedded yet into BioCoherence, but this is basically this is like the next thing I'm gonna do, basically. So what I've really been focused on over the past few weeks is the music of the spheres stuff, which is
I
converting.
think your system should take days to explain, and there are many things that you will integrate, but I think it's good to show how you
Something
start
practical.
doing things, and,
Yeah.
and then it should come into the training system, and etc. etc. So the extensions, the trainings are really made for getting deep into this kind of specific systems. So I think it's good if you give us a general overview of your work,
Yeah, like I said.
and then how it's applied to give
Okay, yeah.
to users to how they can use it. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. So this is what I've built. Boom. All right, cool. So yeah, it doesn't fully work. This is definitely just a demo version, and it will be fully working, but we just, time didn't permit. But essentially what I've done is I've converted frequencies into astrology. That's where it first started. So then converting it, and because once you get the astrology, you can then get into medical astrology. So each organ is related to a planet, is related to a chakra system, is related to something. So then we're linking, so then we can actually start to eat at certain times. We can start to do rituals at certain times based on the frequencies, based on biocoherence. So the first idea that I had was to come up with this idea called your true voice, which basically links biocoherence's frequencies, real-time data, and then we tap that into your astrological birth chart data plus your transit data. So your transit data is your energy for the day, let's say like your horoscope, as a simplified version. And then we tap that into your voice, which is so I've got a mic, you speak into the mic, and then we convert those frequencies into planets. So every single one of those things are converted into planets and astrology. But then I didn't just stop there, because everything is vibration. I only found out that a couple of months ago that there was something called harmonic astrology. I could not believe that I have lived my whole life and did not know that there was something called harmonic astrology, and then a later version, someone reinterpreted that and called it vibrational astrology. And I'm like, why is no one talking about this? And I know why, because it's too complex for most people, and they try and teach it intuitively, but really you'd be missing out so much of the essence. You kind of want to just sit there, and most people just don't have the time to sit there. But basically, the question is, why is the system on 12? Who created the 12 system? Like, why 12? So I'm not going to actually answer that question, but I'm just saying that somebody was like, 12 is the system. We're going to divide the 360-degree chart into 12 segments, slices. And harmonic astrology just says, no, you are all. So the 12 is not sacred. The 12 is just one of any all of the numbers are sacred. So the first person that this guy called John Adley's called Harmonics in Astrology. This book came out in 1977. In this book, he basically broke down, mainly focused on between 1 to 36. No one heard that. No one heard that. Yeah. So 1 to 36. So, yeah, sorry. I'm just going to show one more slide because it's just visualize it. It'll just make it so easy when you see it. Yeah, it'll just make it easy. Yeah, well, easy-ish. So basically, this is it. So this would be breaking this would be, sorry, yeah, let's go into it bigger. The third harmonic breaks the astrological wheel into 3, yeah? So 180, separation. When you put it on a circular waveform, you then get this image. If you broke it down into 4, you then get the squares. So the 4th harmonic is your relationship to the squares in astrology, which is the maximum destruction, wave interference, basically the squares. So if you're looking at the 4th harmonic chart, all of the planets, they all reconfigure and they change their ratios, and every single reflection is based on something to do with squaring. The triangle would be based on something to do with harmony and how you cooperate with other people. So each harmonic chart becomes its own dimension, and that's why it's a bit too complicated. It's not that complicated, but you can see why. And let's just stick to one. For sakes of simplicity, let's just stick to one. Let's stick to 12. But what blew my mind is that the people that built this are basically scientists. So they don't work off, they do empirical astrology, which basically means that I'm just going to take the data and I'm going to see if there's any patterns. I'm not going to look at what the whole old books have told me. So I'm going to look at 5,000 sports athletes, elite athletes, and I want to just see, are there anything? And they basically, what they found out is that there was, with your traditional 12 chart, there was no pattern. It was only when you looked at these subharmonic charts, and for some reason, sports people, they had a strong 4th chart. That's when they could see that everyone had their Mars in this particular place. It was on the 4th harmonic chart. So basically, these harmonic charts become like the sub-harmonics. And so what I've basically built with BioCoherence, so what I've basically built with BioCoherence is a sub-harmonic chart viewer that does the calculations to show you which chart is the one that you're dominant at. Otherwise, you'd have to click through each one of the 32 to kind of see it. So I've just algorithmically it will just tell you, oh, this is your top ranking chart. This is the chart that dominates your life.
That's the harmonic of your life.
Yeah, this is the harmonic. This is the dimension that you operate at. This is where you see most of the tension points within your life, because this is where this is where there are the most aspects that are harmonically ratioed, aligned. Yeah, And so so basically what we're saying is until you get into harmonic astrology, you won't really understand these sub layers of yourself.
It's even a level above decline astrology.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, cool. So yeah, so basically, so that's one thing I've built. So this is the harmonic astrology one. This one's the most complex one. Then I've basically, so the idea was for me to only build 3 tools, and then I ended up building another like 10 on top of it because, yeah, just ideas. And so look, this is the BioCoherence viewer. Oh, sorry, actually, yeah, so this is what I should have started with. Like this is what, whoops. So yeah, this is how I should have started. So yeah, here is the BioCoherence music viewer, which converts the music dashboard within BioCoherence. So I've got that API, and I've downloaded all of that information into here, the music chart, and then I've converted that into astrology. So
Your chart closely resembles the clock in BioCoherence.
yes, that was the idea. Well, I wouldn't say it was the idea. I mean, it's just naturally because it's circular. So basically, we don't want the linear. You can when you look at the linear chart, it will just give you a different perspective. It's the same information, but you will see you'll get a little bit different information than when you look at this at the circular chart. So it's just, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so and then what the key that TJ said was yeah. So it's just then we just play the missing harmonics. Like if you have an irregular heartbeat, we just fill in that space. And so that's what you can do with this real easily. You could just see where the spaces are that need to be filled.
That's what Dan Winters said when he was describing the power dynamics, and you add the frequency.
This is where I got it. This is well, obviously I built this already, but this is where I was like, makes sense. And then I had my next crazy stuff.
What is this telling you? Or?
So this converts each note into astrology, into a star sign. So you've got 12 notes and you've got 12 star signs. So in the music of the spheres, there is an alignment. So F is Virgo, E is Leo. And so you can make further inferences. So the idea is that we would look at your birth chart and basically see what your harmonics are, and that would be like one circle. Then we would get your BioCoherence chart, that would be another circle. And then we would get your tone, when you speak into the mic, and then that would be another circle. And then we would look at that, and then I would do this like calculation.
See where the peaks line up.
Yeah, to see if there's any coherence, to see what your coherence is for the day. Because I've been fascinated with understanding your biorhythm. So there's this guy that basically came out with this thing called a biorhythm, which is basically your daily kind of, and it's based on like the moon cycle and the sun cycle, and like again I decoded it. It's not even that complex. It's just like, yeah, your emotion is the 28 days basically, 28-day cycle is your emotions classically, of course. So anyway, my whole point is that I wasn't really happy with it. I was like, we could just do something more, and that's when BioCoherence just is, because now this is real life biorhythms. We don't need to now rely on a calendar system that is a bit too arbitrary, or we can maybe add that in and just get another layer of information. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, so basically all this information is from the API that I've downloaded, that I did set up, and it gives us the note. It gives you a little bit of information. Again, I didn't really go heavy with the content. It was just a little bit of a demo. And it tells you, like, you know, the golden means to, like, yeah, I've got some of your stress index is 31%. So again, all this stuff is on BioCoherence, but I use some of this information to do my own calculations. So at some point, I'm going to come up with a musical score that will link to some other things as well, but that will link to astrology as well. So that's what that is. And then I'll show you 1 or 2 more tones. So yeah, for like the people that are into the voice. So yeah, we've got your true voice. And so then you just speak into this here. This might even work, you know. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Allow. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, sorry, 2 allows. Hello, hello, hello. Test. All right, let's press again. Oh, allow. Hello, hello, hello. Who knows? It was working at one point. I basically did something at the end where I kind of messed a lot of stuff up. So that's why I was like laughing today, because I pressed the button and I didn't have time to like undo it and go back and refigure. But basically, in a nutshell, you speak into this and then this becomes alive. So when you speak into it, you can basically you speak into it, and it will tell you what star sign you're resonating with in real time. Yeah.
I know that we need to end quick, but every planet is assigned a crystalline structure, so you can pick plants, herbs, and look at them, and they're plant structure. So that's how they assign plants to planets, right? But that crystalline structure also revolves around your body. You have seven bodily systems in alchemy, right? And each one of those is assigned to a crystalline structure. All of those are geometric, force Q, gold, you know. Anyway, I just wondered if you had used some of that theory into this, because with your correspondences, that alchemy is into the crystal. That's how they figure out which herb. That's how I figure out which herbs to use, based on a crystalline structure. Based on, anyway, it's not me, it's you. I was just asking if that's baked in.
I have that. We'll just say that. I have that in abundance. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll just show you a couple more. I'm not going to show you all the tools. I'll just show you a couple of fun ones.
Would you be expected to come out of the wheel around the time of your birth and what you have assumed your birth sign to be?
So repeat the question.
Whenever you look at someone, is it expected, does it happen that whatever sign you comes up, it corresponds to your birth date and the sign that you have been?
Okay, I think I understand. So so you basically, in this here, sorry, it's on this side, so yeah, you can't really see it, but the interface isn't obviously perfect. But yeah, here, so you basically put your birth date in here, you put your time in here, you put all of the information that you would astrologically, and then all of this stuff just auto computes already. So you get the match basically. Like this is already.
Cooks are wanting to bring lunch out.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna finish. I'll just finish on this one because I think this one's a bit cool then. So yeah, we'll do this one because this basically is like similar to what you were saying. So we then let's scroll up a little bit just so you can see like the birth of it. So yeah, this is probably the most complex one of the mini dashboards outside of the harmonic astrology. It's probably the second most complex one. But this basically is a note generator and a keyboard. So this is playing real music right now. And you can basically, it's like an oscillator that I've created. And then the oscillator is creating these, you can basically pre-program the harmonics, the ratios, the perfect fifth and all that stuff in there, and then automatically see the shape that comes up. And basically the most mind-blowing thing is because I've not created, I don't know one word of coding. I've vibe coded all of this, but it's not like how they say it when they tell you online. It's like easy. It's like, it took me quite a while. So anyway, my whole point is that I did this one crazy thing that I asked ChatGPT, there's no way you can do this thing, and it basically did it, which was, are you able to find algorithmically the shapes within the frequencies automatically? And basically in a nutshell, it was like, yes. So I've basically built this calculator that can auto tell you the potential shapes within the ratios. Because what I didn't really say is when Sheila is creating, though, the reason why it's taken her 2 years is because you have to find, it's just manual. You press this little knob here, you play the sound. You press this little knob here, you could be there for days and days and days, weeks, trying to get this shape. And I can do it within a second. So yeah, that's kind of like the presentation. I've shown you less than 0.1%. I can do readings for the rest of the day, by the way. I'm happy to do free readings for anyone here. Anything that you want to see, any questions that you have, I have stuff that does actually work. And
we have time for workshops that we will organize tomorrow. So if you want to do
yeah.
a workshop and people are interested, we will have a list of workshops, and so everybody can put his name on the different workshops, and we can organize the day accordingly.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much for lending me your ears. And yeah, this is like, 0.1% of what I